You're watching ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's. Welcome everyone to Paradise. The Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis, and today Tennessee takes on number 5 Villanova, one of the few ranked teams to survive opening day. That is Atlantis. That's where we are staying, and we are delighted to be a part of the Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis. How about the upsets we saw yesterday? Even though it's early in the season, most people figured Purdue would knock off Tennessee. Most people, almost everybody, figured Arizona would beat NC State. Didn't happen. Northern Iowa gets a win as well. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you who are at home watching. Happy Thanksgiving to my friend Dick Vitale as well. And welcome to this battle for Atlantis. Overarching sort of theme early on. Teams aren't yet the teams we'll see in March. That's why we saw what happened yesterday, right?
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of upsets early in the year. But I'll tell you one thing, this Tennessee team, they showed a lot of guts and heart against a good Purdue team. And I'll tell you, Grant Williams on the interior was a man in the second half. Had 22 big points. He did it in a variety of ways. And he got great wingspan. He can shoot the three. He has great scoring ability. And he can create problems. He can create problems against Villanova. Now, Villanova, we talk about Carl, they get the B&B guys, Brunson and certainly Bridges, and they can create a nightmare for opponents.
No doubt about it, Dickie. Today's starting lineups, they're brought to you by Atlantis, and the Tennessee starting 5, Bone, Bowden, Schofield, Grant Williams, and Kyle Alexander as Tennessee controls the tip. You'll see Villanova's starting 5 on the bottom of the screen as we invite you to enjoy a little basketball with your turkey. And here's a turnover, and Brunson lays it up and lays it in.
That's one of the things Rick Barnes spoke to me before the game. He said we have to really control turning the ball over against some pressure and give them easy layups like they just got to start the game.
The second half of yesterday's game, that's what Villanova did. They turned over Western Kentucky and ended up winning. Really, it wasn't close in the second half, even though the score indicated it might have been. That one down low to Alexander, will kick for the first 3 from Bone. That's hard off the rim. And the battle for the rebound, out of bounds, it'll go to Tennessee. I should say to Villanova.
Tell you one thing, Carl, I see already in the first 30 seconds, there's more of a bounce out of Villanova than we saw here against Western Kentucky.
A little slow start for Jay Wright's team as you take a look at Jay in his 17th season, a NCAA championship a couple of years ago, and hoping very much to be in contention again this year.
4 consecutive Big East titles, and the Big East, a very tenacious, tough conference. Tell you one thing, Tennessee kids, they'll battle defensively. You know, people forget last year they lost a heartbreaker to the national championship team, North Carolina. They lost a tough 2-point game to Oregon, who's in the Final Four, and lost a heartbreaker to Wisconsin.
Booth, who scored 20 in that championship game we just talked about, comes up short with that long jump shot. And Bone will bring it up for Tennessee. This is Williams. They double team him for a second. And he ends up with the skyhook and a good one over Eric Pascal for the first 2 for Tennessee.
He knows how to score on the interior. He's got great wingspan, touch. You know, last year he scored 30 points multiple times. He tied 2 great players, Allen Houston and a guy named Bernard King, Hall of Famer for most 30-point games as a freshman. Talked to his dad before the game, proud father here in the crowd. Played at Columbus High School, his father in New York City.
Booth, he jumps. They're going to get a foul on the ground. If you take a look at Rick Barnes, so he made the point, made the case, like we were in a lot of games last year, and he really feels like this team defensively is ahead of any point last season that the team was defensively.
Tell you one thing, Rick Barnes has been a winner everywhere he's been. I don't care where you talk about, whether it be Providence, Clemson. You talk about certainly the job he did at Texas, a number of NCAA bids, and they're fortunate to have him down at Tennessee. He really is a solid basketball coach.
There's a mistake, thrown out of bounds. Pascal, he was looking for Booth, and Booth wasn't looking back at him.
Look at that intensity. You can see it all over his face, man. He's not thinking about turkey dinner. He's thinking about getting a W. It's that one. It's not like a 1-3-1 half.
Great steal, man. A foul. Great job, and this is going to be the player of the year for Villanova, more likely than even Brunson. You got to get to know Mikal Bridges, who really burst out of the scene end of last year, and this year more aggressive. They've designed more plays for him. He's going to score. He's an All-American and could very well be the best player on the team.
Well, you know, he was a role player in the past, but now he's become a star. Because he played with guys like Jenkins, and certainly Hart was a superstar now in the NBA.
Bridges had a career high in steals yesterday with 5 of them. We're going to get a foul there before the ball's even thrown in on James Daniel, number 3. Those remember James Daniel's name when he was playing at Howard, and he led the nation in scoring at over 27 points a game.
Yeah, getting adjusted to playing at this level right now. I don't care where you lead the nation, man. That's doing the job. If you can score like that.
Brunson squares up. 3 is just short. Offensive rebound, Villanova. Baseline pass. Bridges gets it to go, and a foul.
Nice play on the interior by Bridges. But what about the look? Tremendous pass. The one thing that's impressed me with Villanova, I've seen him yesterday, the way they pass the basketball. Now watch this pass right here. Great drop on a bounce pass. They utilize the bounce pass so well. And there's Bridges, as you talked about, living up to your accolades.
Going to be a star. That's the 4th foul already on Tennessee. And we are less than 3 minutes into this game.
See, I think when you start out and you got good point guard play, in which they have probably as good as a point guard as there is in the nation in Brunson, that is a great way to start your team.
We're going to get a foul on Spellman. He knows it. The other part about this defense, too, that these point guards are going to feel pressure from. Sometimes you don't steal it. But look, West Virginia last year, you count deflections, right? You want to get a hand on the ball.
Well, deflections really all started being counted by a guy by the name of our colleague, UB Brown. UB Brown started that years ago. The other coaches started to utilize it. What it really determines and it defines that you're hustling, you're scrapping, you're clawing. And that's really what it's about. And UB certainly a great tactician, and we're fortunate to have him at ESPN.
No doubt. Dante DiVincenzo, your guy, number 10, he's into the game. We're going to get another foul on the floor here against Villanova.
I think this game can be won by the bench. I think when you look at Tennessee, they bring off Turner, who I think had started most schools in America.
Lamonte Turner.
And Villanova bringing off DiVincenzo, and he could start almost any place in America.
DiVincenzo is a number 6 guy only in terms of not starting, but you could argue he's one of the 3 or 4 best players on the whole team.
Absolutely.
Plays with such energy, such passion. Dante DiVincenzo, keep an eye on him. Got a 40-inch vertical leap.
I told you yesterday, Jay Wright told me he reminded him of a young Rex Chapman.
Yeah.
And Rex Chapman was as special as it gets when he wore that Kentucky uniform. Oh, why couldn't I look like that? Why couldn't I be that good looking? Oh, man. My wife says, don't ever do a 2-shot with him.
The George Clooney of college basketball.
Yes,
loose ball picked up by the Vols.
Lonzo really having a little trouble getting in their offense.
Alexander had it for a second and then stepped out of bounds. DiVincenzo. Are they going to get a foul on number 10? We are going to get a foul. Lamar Simpson walks over and says we got a hold on DiVincenzo.
I know Rick right now can't be happy with the kind of rhythm they're getting on the offensive end. The aggressive defense. I mean, Villanova's defense way better than what we saw yesterday.
Admiral Schofield's first shot is short.
He plays their 3. He's a wing player, Schofield.
Pascal hard to the hole, but denied by the rim.
He can score now. He struggled yesterday, did not score at all. Rookie of the year in the Atlantic 10, played at Fordham. Pascal.
Kind of waiting for James Daniel, who was the leading scorer in the country, to get some shots off. And this time down, it was Bowden who launched a 3.
Well, Bowden plays their 2 slot. They look for him to make some 3s.
Bridges, how quick was that release? And it goes down.
He feels it. You can see the bounce he's got right now. He plays that point with that great size at 6'7", very athletic.
He's got 6. The pressure is causing some problems for Tennessee when it comes to getting that ball to an open man.
He's got a one-on-one right now. You got to go to the basket.
Fade away, tough shot, in and out.
They catch and face. When they catch a basketball, watch how they catch, face, triple threat position. Pass, drive, or shoot.
Oh, Brunson, great pass. Access denied. Great block by Bowden. As Spellman looked like he was going up to dunk it.
Tell you one thing. Talk about scrappiness. Talk about gritty. Talk about tenacious. That's what Tennessee's about.
Schofield, who popped his shoulder yesterday, so you see he's got that flat.
Being challenged man-to-man right now. They're going to try to double up on a post.
Tough shot again. Williams can't get it to go, and there's that leaping ability of DiVincenzo. So keep an eye on the shoulder of Schofield, and Jordan Bone rolled an ankle yesterday. Keep an eye on him. He's now on the bench.
You know, Carl, they're making Williams spin and go away with a tough shot on that baseline and trying to keep him from going to the basket.
Williams got a lot of easy baskets against Purdue in the second half yesterday. All 22 of his points came in the second half. Bridges with the hard take, the basket, and a blocking foul. Three-point play potential.
Tell you one thing, what a start he has had. Bridges has been really tough here, explosive, great athlete.
Building Bridges. He's doing great. We'll get to know that guy, the dirt dog of Villanova, Dante DiVincenzo, here on this Thanksgiving Day.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers, classic American muscle, mow with an attitude, and Atlantis Paradise Island, Bahamas at heart.
Who am I? I'm a sophomore guard for the Villanova Wildcats. 3 things you don't know about me. I'm from Wilmington, Delaware. I like to draw, and I have a fascination with watches. Who am I? I am Dante DiVincenzo.
Dante DiVincenzo, his freshman year, he broke a bone in his foot. Now you can see he's eclectic. He's got all sorts of different interests.
Well, you know, I'm very disappointed with him right there. I'll tell you that. His stock went down to me.
Why?
When he's talking about, you don't know about him, he should have said, people don't know that I love to eat lasagna, man. I like to eat a lot of macaroni. Hey, on the bench, graduate assistants, we got Matt Frischella, Fran Frischella's son, went to Harvard, to be a young rising star in coaching, and also Matt Massimino. He's the grandson of the late Rowley, who was such a vital factor in the coaching fraternity. And Miss Rowley, just saying his name, I can't believe he's not with us. He's up in heaven, hoops heaven.
Frischella, Massimino, some good bloodlines on that Villanova bench as Bridges tries to complete the three-point play, and he does. And Mikel Bridges off to a flying start here today with Villanova up 11-5 early.
Well, you know, Jay raved about him when we spoke on the phone, and I could see why. He said he's no longer just a role player. He is a star. They really got that aggressive defense going. We didn't see that yesterday. We did not see what we're watching here.
Daniel had nowhere to go. He flipped it out to the wing, and that's where Darrington, who's now into the game, comes in, and he misses one. We're going to get a foul on Grant Williams.
They're challenging every shot. They're challenging. I thought yesterday Western Kentucky, who played with them early, as you mentioned the score at halftime, very close, 27-24. I thought they had open shots, Western Kentucky. We're not seeing that here. And they're getting the best of Villanova, showing why they're right now number 5 in the nation.
No doubt. Chris Darrington, number 32, into the game. Lamonte Turner into the game, had a good first half. 6 team fouls now on Tennessee. And also into the game for the Volunteers is Derek Walker, the freshman 6'8", 238-pounder.
Well, that's one of the strengths of Tennessee. They can go to their bench. They don't lose anything when they go to that bench.
Johnson comes up short on the 3.
Turner hit a big 3, send that game into overtime, but they're not here right now playing in this first game.
Here's Daniel again, the leading scorer in the nation. This time he dishes one to Williams. He goes up with the left, and so far Grant Williams isn't having the first half like he did yesterday in the second half when he scored 22.
He's got some wingspan, man. Grant Williams got like a 7'6" wingspan. Look at those arms.
1 of 5 from the floor so far for that wingspan.
Not easy shots. He hasn't done what you would call an easy shot.
Like you said, he's fading away from the basket on every one of them.
Every shot is being challenged. And I think the one thing you try to get kids to understand, don't shoot challenge shots. Pass the ball. Make the extra pass.
Long pass. Pascal is able to handle it, but Williams, who's 1 of 5 from the floor, prevents a basket there with a good block.
Well, you know, he blocked 61 shots last year as a freshman, most as a freshman at Tennessee.
He's 402 points last year, Dick. You mentioned the name already. He was 6th all-time as a freshman. Of course, the leading scorer of freshman history in Tennessee, Bernard King. That was close to being a goaltend, but it got blocked before it hit the glass from Pascal.
Bernie and Ernie show. That was something special.
Oh,
Ernie Grunfeld, Bernie, they were unbelievable. Ray Mears era down there at Tennessee. Stu Aberdeen was an assistant, was a special guy.
Kids, you're watching at home on Thanksgiving and you've never seen Bernard King play or score. Wow. YouTube that. He was fun to watch, and he'd average 50 points a game for the Knicks.
I did the playoffs when the Knicks played the Celtics, an incredible series, and the crowd would chant in the Garden, MVP, MVP, to go to Boston, and the crowd would chant, MVP with Bird. Nice play right there. Good offensive execution.
Good cut for Darrington, who lays it in. His first bucket, the junior 6'1", 179-pounder, who was on their summer trip, arguably their best player. He scored over 14 points. They traveled to Spain and France, played 3 games, and he was outstanding.
Yeah, he's from over Vincennes Junior College. He was a terrific junior college player, and they feel he can be a vital factor with this team.
Darrington went into the corner and was open. He's still open over here on the left. They don't see him. And now Villanova gets back into their defense, but will have a foul on the floor.
They got a lot of bodies, man. They got a lot of bodies they can rotate in the Vols. I love looking at that orange. Nice, beautiful color. Here it is now. Look at the cut right off the screen. It's almost like a little shuffle cut. Defense doesn't beat him to the ball, and he's right inside for a layup.
Yeah, Booth got lost there and in translation as he was trying to guard Darrington.
Didn't see ball and man. Got to watch both.
Good trap in the corner here in a tough spot, but they switch it, and you're not going to out-muscle that dude. Admiral Schofield.
What a great catch by Schofield. Great hands the way he went up. He looked like a receiver, man. Oh, nice screen in the backcourt.
No, we're going to get a call. Not so nice. Omari Spellman gets called for it.
Jay Wright has a right to be upset. I don't think there was any movement at all back there. They called the movement. You got to be stationary. No movement. I agree with Jay right there. I agree with him. James Lucky talking about veteran official. I thought it was a bad call. I really thought it was a bad call, but again, they're entitled. We make some bad calls here. Nobody calls us out on them, except those critics. Those critics.
You got to get off Twitter. I mean, I've never seen somebody wear out Twitter like Vitale.
Follow me on Dickie V. Come on, Carl. Follow me.
Oh, I follow you.
I know you do. And I give you a lot of ink. Spreading the court here. You got to get away from these traps.
Turner takes it himself, loses it, and that is off of him.
He's got scoring ability. He really can score a variety of ways with the jump shot, the drive, the three. They lost some heartbreakers last year. You know what amazed me? To show you how improved this conference is. Pre-season, they're picked 13th in the SEC. Yeah. That tells you the strength of that conference this year. Now, one team that was picked higher will drop big time is Missouri, losing certainly Michael Porter Jr.
Just Schofield, and keep an eye on number 5 in the orange. He's been kind of working that left shoulder of his. He's going over there now to, in fact, have it work done by their strength coach.
They were working in the locker room. I was in the locker room when he was trying to get ready to play. I'll tell you one thing, they didn't back down. I thought Purdue had a couple of times to really look like they were going to get away from them, and they just kept coming back. In fact, the overtime, they jumped out 5 quick points, Purdue, and they just kept coming back, and hanging around, and ultimately won the battle, especially inside. I think they had 20 offensive rebounds.
Schofield originally hurt the shoulder yesterday, trying to run through a screen that was set by one of the big fellas from Purdue. He jammed it up. He had to go to the sideline for a while to get it work done.
Tell you, you mentioned Purdue out in Big Ten. Watch Minnesota. Richard Pitino's club, the M&M guys, Mason and Murphy, they are going to create problems. They went on the road and beat a good Providence team.
Pitino's very comfortable in Providence, though, isn't he? He likes being in Providence.
Well, you know, he grew up there with his dad.
I know. Knows the restaurants in Providence, knows the terrain in Providence.
Is that 1-3-1, trying to trap. Doing a little better job. That's the pass you want to go. You want to go opposite. Great look right there. Perfectly well coached. Well coached. Go away from the trap. Use the diagonal pass. We used to call it the zigzag pass.
Bowden, a good three-point shooter, and one of the guys last year got a lot of run as a freshman. This year they're a lot deeper, but he played and started 28 games as a freshman to Jordan Bowden.
Yeah, he, Bone and company, got a lot of playing down. Bone super quick.
Mikal Bridges back in the game, so far the leading scorer for Villanova. This is Gillespie and Cullen. Got his man open. That's who you want taking that three. Mikal Bridges with a dozen now.
That's one of their strengths, Villanova. They got 2 outstanding strengths, shooting the three and the free throw line. The charity stripe is usually excellent for them.
Here you go. Daniel finally lets one go. We're going to get a push. It's going to stay right here as Walker had a good position to get an offensive rebound. Building bridges on Thanksgiving. Mikal Bridges He's got a dozen of Villanova's 16 at the battle for Atlantis.
It's a Phil Knight birthday bash with 16 teams, 2 tournaments, 1 time only. The PK80 starts Thursday.
2:30, 4:30, the Portland schools, Portland and Portland State, they get to deal with the teams from the ACC and Tobacco Road. Talk about some of the players to watch. There are a lot of them, Dickie B.
Well, absolutely. Look at those superstars that'll all be lined up there. Kulishev's a transfer. He can really shoot the ball. We know about guys like certainly Bagley and Bamba down in Texas is going to really revise that program for Shaka. Miles Bridges is only a Player of the Year candidate from out of Michigan State.
So while you're watching the players, you got to watch your guy.
There's the big redhead. He and I had such fun doing an NBA game. We had a blast. Look at him right there. He's a riot, man. What a riot.
See that little Grateful Dead donut there? Keep Portland weird. So I think we're checking that box off. And it's not only him that's going to keep him weird. We got a whole crew out there. For a long time, you'll be able to watch all those PK80 games, 2-18 brackets with all sorts of phenomenal schools, and that's coming up right after we're done here.
I'll tell you, when the big redhead Carl played for Jack Ramsey out in Portland, as good as any center ever played the game in that period of time.
I developed such a great appreciation for watching the big redhead play when he developed such a great reputation and an affinity for playing alongside Bird in Boston. He raved about playing on a team with Larry Bird. Had to do with the passing ability of that entire team, but listening to him talk about Bird was like music to ears of those that grew up Celtics fans.
Well, you know, he certainly made music on a basketball court when he talked about Larry Bird.
The appreciation for the things that some of these teams do. Villanova, the extra pass, the rebound, the hard work. Portland certainly had that.
When you talk about quality basketball teams, it's sharing a basketball, it's making the extra pass, getting good shots, it's defending as a team, communicating with one another, blocking out, rebounding.
Booth swung it, and it came off the hands of Pascal, who keeps it alive, but it's going to be Tennessee's ball. And now Turner to Bowden, who's already got a couple of threes. And they'll slow it down as Villanova settles back into their man-to-man defense.
Well, Turner and Bowden very capable of making those threes. Going over to man-to-man right now.
That tough shot.
Yeah, challenge. See, that's not a good shot. That's what I'm talking about. The definition, understanding what a good shot is. Many kids have a difficult time understanding that.
That one was also contested. There you go. You can hear what Dick is saying. Now you can see how difficult it is when you get a man in your face. Turner takes it to the rack. He throws it up off the window. Alexander had it for a second. And we're going to get a foul on the floor on Nova. Jay Wright not pleased with some of the calls that are being made here. That one by Lamar Simpson.
Yeah, you got to understand, when you're being challenged, it means you got to make an extra pass. You're not going to shoot a ball and make a shot with people right up in your face like that. That's a tough look right there. That's on the playground. You get away with that. Get away with it in high school when you're so much more talented maybe than the people you're playing against. You can take a back shot and come back the other way, but you do that, you lose a possession.
One of the other things we've seen, Dick, at this tournament too, last night, NC State, they beat Arizona. They made 28 of 35 free throws. 28 of 35 free throws.
I'm going to tell you one thing. That North Carolina State team, scrapping, got some veteran players. The transfer from Baylor is going to be a big scorer for them. Freeman, he's a great asset. What about the kid Beverly coming off the bench and getting 20 points? So glad the NCAA finally made a great decision, giving him the right to play this year.
Schofield launches a long three, and he knocks it down, and Jay Wright gets in the ear of Amari Spellman a little bit. Spellman back on the floor with a couple of fouls.
Yeah, Spellman's got to stay out of foul trouble. You need his size inside against Williams, who gets better as the game goes on. We saw it yesterday, 22 in the second half, Williams.
Tennessee holding tight here, 16-15. We haven't seen Bridges with a ball for a while, and perhaps Jay Wright was telling Amari Spellman, take it inside and get some points.
A lot of quickness right here. A lot of quickness. Got fouled.
Wow, Brunson gets the foul on him. And we'll have 2 more free throws. Second semifinal of this Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis at 3 o'clock Eastern time on ESPN. The semifinals today. NC State, Northern Iowa beat SMU last night in a close game. They used a huge first half 21-2 run to open up a big lead. It ended up being a very close game. All the games, and we have a ton. Dick, you think you eat a lot of food on Thanksgiving?
Unbelievable.
If you were to just digest some basketball from ESPN and ESPN2 and ESPN3, you'd be asleep for a year with all the games that are being done today.
Oh, it's a hoops fanatic. You know, if you're a hoops hysteria at its best this time of the year. And you know what's great about this time of the year? You find out strengths and weaknesses. I mean, look some of the wins out there they have early. Cupcake City Delight, a lot of Hostess cupcakes. I mean, I love Hostess cupcakes.
Who doesn't?
But, I mean, Hostess cupcakes in basketball, 95-28, 97-35. What do you get? What do you get except the W? Now, when I coach, I love the cupcakes. Well, look at this here. You talk about building your resume. That's the benefit of playing in a tournament. You develop some team chemistry. You get that ability to bounce back quickly. You got to play consecutive days. There's a lot of things. You find out strengths, weaknesses of your team. And that's what you're trying to analyze. But you don't want to leave here 0-3.
Right.
That's a coach's nightmare when you go to a tournament. I don't think he ever has to worry about 0-3 anymore.
Yeah.
He's always going to have a team that can win.
What he's got to worry a little bit about is early foul trouble. You got Bridges, Brunson, Spellman, and DiVincenzo all have 2 fouls here in the first half.
And that's created because of the athleticism and the quickness that Tennessee possesses. And they create that problem. Those guys are all sitting on a pine right now. And Jay Wright says, I got a really good staff. I don't need those guys next to me. I need them on the floor. That's such a strength for them. You look at their numbers on the free throw line over the last 5 years, and they're the winningest program. A lot of people don't realize this. The last 5 years, they've won more games than anybody in college basketball.
And off to a great start this year for Jay Wright, 4-0.
32-4 last year, lost in the tournament, second round matchup against Happen Company of Wisconsin.
John Fulkerson, number 10, is checked into the game for Tennessee. There's a guy that's been banged up early in his career, but they really want him to develop. They think he is so capable, and there's an example of it as he goes with a little left-handed jump hook.
Yeah, nice little play on the interior. Nice left-hand baseline jumper by him.
Had a couple of different surgeries, and they want Fulkerson to be a productive part of this team and believe he can be.
Well, anytime you can get size, you got a big guy to help you like that to deliver like Fulkerson did at 6'9", 210 on the inside.
Frustration for Villanova, Dickie. Colin Gillespie just threw that one into row 2 here at the Imperial Ballroom.
Take a look at Fulkerson down in the post area. Going to bring the ball down to spin. There he goes. A little baseline left-handed shot. Nice little score that gives you a little lift now. You come off the bench. You feel good about yourself.
Chance for Tennessee here with all those guys on the bench with 2 fouls. Try to get yourself a little lead. Oh, some authority there from Grant Williams.
Grant Williams just beat him one-on-one. Utilize that size and strength. He's going to go play with 2 fouls. He's got to play defend DiVincenzo. They're going to have to lace him up. Villanova here. This Tennessee team is way better than being picked 13th in the SEC. This is the Villanova crowd. They got a big crowd here. Over 600 have made the journey.
Pascal walked. Turnover, Villanova. And watch Williams go to the hole here.
Here he goes, a little one-on-one, Mr. Williams. Little Rocky Top time. There he is, explodes, and there's the jam, baby. Oh, he's a high riser. His mom works for NASA. This guy is an unbelievable explosive guy.
So much to do at Atlantis as the Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis is more than just basketball. The players got a chance to enjoy so many of the activities here in the water, out of the water. This is known as the dig, and there's all sorts of history, of course, when you think about Atlantis. And you get a chance to swim with sharks, dolphins, stingrays. You might even bump into a Vital in the water.
I'm going to the water after the game, man. We're going to go to the pool.
Is that a warning? Is that a warning? What is that?
That's a warning. We got a good game going here,
yeah,
Carl.
we do.
A lot of intensity, a lot of passion, both close playing with.
Foul trouble again. Villanova 4 there. Starters and DiVincenzo included in that, all with 2 fouls. Williams goes to the basket, gets his own rebound, lays it up and lays it in. He was a force yesterday against Purdue, and he's starting to exert himself again today.
Well, he's going to be one of the forces in the SEC. There's no doubt about it. He'll be one of the premier players this year in the conference.
Pascal gets him up in the air and lays it up and lays it in.
That's really good for his confidence because he struggled yesterday. I believe he was 0 for 6 from the field yesterday, Pascal. Transfer came in with a pretty good reputation out of Fordham, where he was the hyper dandy of the year in the Atlantic 10.
Admiral Schofield, the only volunteer with 2 fouls.
Boy, he's got a body. Looks like a linebacker.
Sure does.
He really does.
Son of a Navy man, so they named him Admiral. He's got a brother whose name is General. There's a take.
Nice
pretty
drive.
play. That's Jordan Bone, who looks like that ankle's okay. He's got 4, and then some pressure defense leads to a turnover.
They're quick. They're very athletic, very quick. That was a great drive by Bone.
Big 5-point swing right there.
He better get a TO. This Tennessee Volunteer team has come here to win. They haven't just come here to be part of the tournament. Watch out, the Vols are on fire.
Everyone, Tennessee putting it to Villanova. It's got Jay Wright talking to the officials and his own team. That steal, though, led to a 3-pointer by Bowden, a 5-point swing.
Yeah, Bowden's got the ability to shoot the 3. I'll tell you one thing. Jay's got a guy on the bench that can help him, though. He travels with Father Hagan. Father Hagan was in the locker room before the game. He said, Father, say a prayer for me. And he's there praying a little bit right now for Villanova. Foul trouble has really hurt Villanova.
It has. That and the pressure of this Tennessee defense.
As Father?
Fulkerson stays in the game. Villanova, uncharacteristic. 7 turnovers in this one. They go down low again. Pascal. Nope. He got a call for a travel, and every time the whistle blows, Jay Wright is talking to an official.
But he definitely walked there. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. Jay a little upset, but he definitely lifted his pivot foot.
Fulkerson out of the game. Tennessee's got a smaller lineup in now with Bowden, Bone, and Lamonte Turner.
They got 3 guys that can really drive the ball and shoot the ball.
Bowden, no. More offensive rebounding by Tennessee.
That's what they did really well against Purdue. They got 20 rebounds on the offensive glass, really attacking the rim.
Lead grows to 10. That was Grant Williams getting it done again.
Oh, he's special. He is special.
Kel Bridges back in, DiVincenzo in. He pulls up and misses, follows his own shot, and he got fouled after he grabbed the rebound by Walker.
Well, good second effort by DiVincenzo. You're going to have to battle back now, Villanova, just like, the Fighting Irish had to battle back. What a game last night. There's a wide open shot by Bowden, and watch the offensive rebound. Good, strong rebound by Williams. Let me tell you this, what a comeback by the Irish. Mike Bray has done a tremendous job with Notre Dame, and they beat an outstanding team in Wichita State. They were down 16.
I saw that late steal by Farrell with a great pass, too, to lead to a big bucket, pull them within 1. Play calling down the stretch was really good, and by the way, so was free throw shooting for the Irish in that one.
Well, Farrell and certainly Colson give them a great 1-2 combo. You talk about the ACC, which I feel is the best conference in basketball. You talk Duke, obviously North Carolina, Louisville going to be very good, but I'm telling you, you better watch the Irish. Mike Bray has done a terrific job. He's ultimately going to be the winningest coach in the history of Notre Dame. He's getting very close.
Colson outplayed Landry Shamet last night. The only troubling part about the Notre Dame victory, I don't know if you saw it, was post-game Mike Bray shirt off in the locker room celebrating with a lei around his neck. There's a block. Fulkerson goes up. He's met at the rim, and we're going to keep it here. And they're going to get a foul, and this one's going to cause more problems as Cosby Roundtree, the freshman, was aggressive at the basket, but then the late call. Take a look.
Right here, now we're going to watch this on the offensive rebound.
Right there,
there's the contact right there after. Yep. One thing about, getting back to Wichita State, they're playing without the kid McDuffie. He's a very good player, and he'll be there in a couple of weeks joining them, and they're gonna win a lot of basketball games.
Redshirt freshman, lefty, good stroke from John Fulkerson, 6'9", 210, another big body. They get a lot of guards this year, and having Fulkerson return to health is a big key for Rick Barnes this year.
Well, it's been a big key here this afternoon. Coming off the bench, Fulkerson's giving him a little edge on the inside.
Foul underneath, and that's going to be called on Jordan Bone, who was trying to push Brunson out of the way, and that'll lead to a couple of free throws.
Yeah, that's silly, really. You're playing really well as a team. Why give them just easy points right here? And they're such a good free throw shooting basketball team. Rick's not happy with that scenario.
I'm not sure what the secret formula is to win a championship, but having a point guard with experience like Brunson is certainly part of it.
Well, that really is. You got to have good point guard play. It's what in a stretch when you look at a team. For example, you mentioned Notre Dame with Farrell. You think about certainly North Carolina with Joel Berry. You got to be strong at that point guard slot. Kid Mason, very underrated. Watch him at Minnesota. Terrific point guard.
You'll see Joel Berry, 2:30 Eastern Time, ESPN. That's the North Carolina game against Portland. Portland State will take on Duke. Mr. Marvin Bagley, that show at 4:30 Eastern Time. For all the great players that they have on that team, Bagley does stand above the rest.
Grayson Allen's going to have a big year this year, especially in big-time games. He likes the big stage.
Turner feeds Williams. He loves it down low, and man,
can't handle him down here.
No, you can't. Grant Williams back up to his tricks from yesterday when he had 22. He's now into double figures with 10.
That's a mismatch on the inside. So Emmer can't handle him down in that interior. Got to get a little help on him. Having a couple guys in foul trouble certainly doesn't help their scenario.
Wow. They're going to call a foul on James Daniel. There wasn't much contact there, but they get the foul on him.
We talked about him on the top of the show, Grant Williams. And you see why we talked about him. He has all the kinds of maneuvers on the inside. Head fakes, ball fakes, good pivot. Uses his footwork excellent on the interior. He is solid, just as Purdue. The reason they're playing, he had 22 in the second half against the Boilers.
Add Cosby Roundtree's name to the list of Villanova players with 2 fouls.
At free throw line, it is such a plus having the team that can make charity. Go to that charity line and make free throws.
Well, Villanova hasn't missed one. They're 11 for 11 so far today. And now 12 for 12. Yeah, we talked about it with NC State last night, 28 of 35.
It's a big plus.
Lead is 7 for Tennessee. Tennessee in the last 2 minutes, it feels like 3 guys now have their second foul.
These 4 minutes are big to Villanova. They're going to scrap somehow, go to the zone.
Good ball movement, good offensive rebound, the kick for a 3, and splash from Daniel.
Daniel, big-time scorer, gets that because of the offensive rebound, giving him that second opportunity. And that's been a strength. That was a strength yesterday. We talked 3 times, told you, 20 offensive rebounds on Purdue. And they got a 7-footer by Emma Haas.
Jay Wright, I think Jay Wright might be leaving the building. He's just turned and walked the other way after that call against Villanova. How about it? Under 4, and Tennessee's got a 10-point lead over Villanova.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Atlantis Paradise Island, Bahamas at heart, and Lowe's. Hurry in today for huge savings on all things winter.
Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. Happy Thanksgiving to all you guys. I have a lot of turkey out there, Chris. You with a couple of turkeys right there. And Seth and certainly my guy, Jason.
You just compliment him for getting in the Hall of Fame, and then you call him a turkey.
Well, I'm a turkey, too. What's the difference? We're all turkeys.
Bonzie Colson, that's a pretty nice comparison for Grant Williams that Seth just made.
Bonzie Colson could be the MVP of the ACC. Really terrific player for the Fighting Irish. Nice two-man game right there.
Fulkerson, oh, what a play. And boy, he has made his presence felt in this first half. He's got 5.
Yeah, it's really great when you can go to your bench and get productivity. I don't think coming into the game they anticipated getting what they're getting on the inside.
Dick, they got a 12-point lead.
And one of the reasons, offensive rebounds. They got 9 offensive rebounds, have led to 13 points. They forced 9 turnovers, led to 11. They're really a good basketball team this early in the year. They're playing well.
Three-pointer open, and it was short and near trip, and we're going to get a foul called, and that one's going to go against Pascal. A very frustrating first half for Villanova.
You know, you take on right now, and you play the likes of Purdue and Villanova within 24 hours, you find out a lot about your team.
Yeah. So go ahead, tell me. So they're down 12. In the second half, they could come back and win. But we've seen Arizona lose. You're seeing Villanova really get outplayed here. We saw Purdue lose yesterday. What's this about?
Well, it's about the fact that, you know, some teams right now, good rhythm. It's early in the year. You got some players stepping up. Foul trouble has hurt Villanova in this game as well. What's really hurt them is the aggressiveness of Tennessee. Hey, the SEC got some interesting matchups today. You got Florida with Stanford. You got Arkansas playing Oklahoma. Michael Anderson's got some really good guards down there with the Razorbacks. I think the SEC will be probably the most improved conference in America from last year.
I've seen Texas A&M twice. They are loaded up front, and they get some good guard play. They are a lot to handle. That ball tipped away. Good hustle by Tennessee on the defensive end to knock it away from Daniel.
Yeah, nice play by Tennessee coming back. But I'll tell you this, you're right about Texas A&M. They're legitimate. That team is legitimate. Any team that can beat West Virginia the way they did without Williams, without Caldwell.
Brunson triple team for a while. Now he tries to go one-on-one, and he does so. And the foul, Jalen Brunson.
Nice play inside. We talked about it yesterday. He's not flashy. He's not spectacular. He's just got great understanding of the game. Very cerebral. You can see he obviously learned a lot from his dad, Rick. Here he is on the inside. Protects the ball really well. Knows how to use his body. There he's the spin in the lane. Jay Wright said you'll see him in the NBA. He'll be on some club's roster. Not be a first-round pick. Father now assistant coach with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
First field goal that Villanova's had in 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
They challenge him. We talked about their tenaciousness. Look, Tennessee defensively, very aggressive, athletic. He had some really outstanding teams at Texas. And, you know, let's say the one and done really hurt him at Texas. You know, some key players. The guy that wasn't too bad by the name of Durant.
Yeah, Kevin Durant, LaMarcus Aldridge, Avery Bradley's had some significant pros in his programs. Williams doesn't go inside, but he pulls up from the free throw line, and you're starting to see even more of the game that Grant Williams brings to the table. He's got a dozen.
His stock going up and up and up. And what a student as well. He could have went to Harvard, to Yale, to Princeton. Mom works for NASA. He is a genuine student athlete.
DiVincenzo open three.
They can't make it. That's their strength. They're really struggling.
They get an outlet pass, and we'll
Nice
see if
pass.
Turner can do it by himself. No, he lost it on the way up, so it looked like DiVincenzo really blocked it, but he had that ball slip out of his hands on the way up.
Great job, though, to get back Villanova because they were in trouble. Transition defense was not in existence. It looked like they're going to have a layup. As the baseball pass, it was like a football pass because some guys throwing that football today. Little hustle on the floor.
Amari Spellman just picked up his third foul here, Dick, with a minute 39 to go in the first half.
He's been very quiet, too.
He has been.
Got a big-time reputation coming out of high school. Sat out last year. Had knee surgery, actually, last year. See, I think Booth and Spellman, people don't realize you have knee surgery. It takes a while to get back the rhythm, the timing, to be efficient and be effective.
Spellman is 0 for 3 from the floor as Fulkerson, who's been really good here today. He's got 6 points. He's made both of his field goal attempts.
Going to see what Villanova's really like now. They have the unbelievable ability to come back. Notre Dame showed that last night over in Maui against an outstanding Wichita State team. There were 16 down. They're down right now 15.
Haven't had many games like this in the last couple of years where they've trailed by 15 points in the first half. Brunson, DiVincenzo launches another three, and that one is on.
And who made the play? That play was created and made by the ability of Brunson. Great vision, finding the open guy. Yeah, all the experts, all the know, they said to me coming out here, why you wasting time? It's going to be Arizona and Villanova. Oh, really? On paper, Arizona, Villanova, but you got to do it on the court. You got to do it on the court.
Great pass.
Tennessee is doing it on the court.
Great pass, and that one to Alexander for the flush from Lamonte Turner.
Tennessee is doing it on the floor. Rick Barnes would like to say, why can't this game end at halftime? Do I have to come out and play another half? Love it, man. Nothing like college hoops. Gets the adrenaline flowing, gets you in the mood to have some turkey on Thanksgiving Day. Or you can go to the beach as well.
Look at how tenacious the defense for Tennessee is. Nothing's coming easy for Nova. DiVincenzo launches another one.
Oh, what a tip.
Tennessee wants offensive goaltending.
Yeah, close, very close. I'll let you call it. You got two eyes, I got one. It was close.
It was very close. We'll take another look at it, whether that ball was in the cylinder or out, as Pascal went up and knocked it back in.
And remember the rule, you can't play with the ball when it's on that rim. Oh, I think it was off.
I think it was in front of the rim, and he knocked it in. That was a big bucket.
Every bucket for them now is big. They got themselves a real hole here, down 12.
One of the things you mentioned, the offensive rebounding, they outshot Purdue as far as number of shots yesterday, 80-59. They took 21 more shots. Today, they've taken 33 shots, and Villanova has taken 23. So they've outshot them by 10.
Yeah, and if you make like 3 or 4 of those, you get yourself a big edge. But a lot of baseball people down here, they say around the hotel we're staying at, there's been sightings of Mariano Rivera.
We saw Mariano Rivera. The Cy Young winner, Corey Kluber, was around. I saw a picture you took with Carlos Guillen.
Carlos Guillen.
Carlos
Guillen, the shortstop.
If Ozzie Guillen were here, we'd know it too. Ozzie can talk you.
Yeah, Carlos. Played with Seattle, played with Detroit. The Tigers, didn't he play with the Tigers in Seattle?
Yes, he played with Detroit. And Seattle was on that 116-win Mariner team. We got 8 seconds to go in this first half.
Can't give him a deuce here. Got a challenge. Go on a foul.
How about a three? Bowden. Oh, in and out. And that'll do it for the first half. But Tennessee let Villanova and the rest of the college basketball consumer know we are here. Our halftime score, 46-34. Back with Dick Vitale in the second half. But first, we send you to Chris Cotter. And dare I say, the turkeys forget that. Love Jay Will and Uncle Seth. Seth Greenberg in the studio. Welcome back, everyone. The Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis. Carl Ravitch, Dick Vitale here. And boy, the story of this tournament has been the upsets. Tennessee got a big three from Lamonte Turner yesterday. That helped knock off Purdue last night. Who would have thought it? NC State, Beverly, the freshman, in his third game ends up scoring 20. Arizona defeated. And all of a sudden today, after Villanova came out with 2 quick steals, didn't have any after the first minute and a half, and Tennessee's been on fire. They got themselves a comfortable 46-34 lead. We'll see what kind of punch Villanova gives them to start this second half. But boy, Tennessee dominant and feeling really good after beating Purdue yesterday and now leading Villanova.
I'll tell you one thing, doing a great job defensively, very aggressive. Villanova a little bit foul trouble, and the scenario on the inside, our guy we talked about on the top of the show, Grant Williams, they have been able to handle him on the inside. He's so effective, and his ability on the interior creates a lot of space for guys to shoot the three because he draws so much attention. There he is right there with the baseline drive and the jam. You're going to watch him on the inside. He's got a long wingspan and offensive rebounding, man. And there it is. Great play inside. Great footwork. Head fake. I mean, this Tennessee team's going to win a lot of games this year.
Our first half stats are brought to you by Atlantis. And you take a look at some of the numbers. And look, a lot of people were thinking that Villanova was getting whistled for foul and foul and foul. 13 fouls to 12, so it wasn't that egregious. Tennessee's field goals, they've taken more shots. Free throw line, Villanova's been outstanding, and that could be a big story down the stretch. They are 13 for 13. All the guys with 2 fouls, and there's a bunch of them in this game now back on the floor. Bridges, he had 2 in the first half as far as fouls. He misses his first attempt, but they get the offensive rebound. And they had a cutting Bridges, but he had to go off his hand.
Got to drop the bounce pass on that cut right there. He had a perfect angle to the goal.
Brunson steps up and pulls up, and it goes.
I love the way he plays so calm, cool, and collective. He's got the 3 C's, baby, and he knows how to finish and make plays.
Got a little Derek Fisher in him. He reminds me of Derek Fisher.
That's a good analysis there, Carl. Wow. Derek Fisher. He ain't gonna pass. Winner everywhere he went.
Winner, always in control, left-handed shot.
Nothing flashy.
Right. So keep an eye on number 2. Grant Williams was the story in the first half. They got the ball to him as often as they could, and nobody could slow him down. Admiral Schofield, that's off to the left, but an offensive rebound leads to another 3 attempt. That one misses, and this time it's Villanova and Brunson on a 3-on-2.
He's got somebody on the wing, but he doesn't need it. Yeah, Brunson showing why he's one of the premier point guards in the land. 2 quick goals. That's the way that he drew it up there at halftime, Jay.
Brunson's got 11. Lead is down to 8 quickly. That's not a great shot, very quick. Jordan Bowen, another chance for Nova.
Got to get a few more touches, got to get people involved.
Brunson thinks about it, finds a man on the corner for 3. Bridges, count it! And a 6-0 run out of the gate.
Got to give you a little spark. 3 quick goals, some great execution.
You knew they were going to punch, and the question is how you deal with it.
Still down 6. Shot selection be key for Tennessee. They got to take good shots. It's got their Nova fans a little excited right now. They're a little quiet. I think they were a little shocked.
Going in trouble here, and he's going to get called.
He doesn't want to call a timeout so quickly. They might need one. Look at Rick. He's a little frustrated now.
Dribbled himself into a corner and got called. So Bone is out. Figure they're going to try to go to Grant Williams. We talked about him in the first half. We just talked about him to start the second half. Hasn't had a touch inside that paint yet.
Uncle Mo, man, momentum has swung a little bit now to the Wildcats. Oh, Brunson might have got away with a little push in that elbow.
Pascal hard to the rack. Good job by Alexander to hold his defensive position.
Tough angle down there to make a pass.
Booth. Foul.
And this is their strength. Go to the free throw line. See, I still think Booth's going through a feeling-out process after the knee surgery. He's not the kid that we saw score 20 against North Carolina in the national championship game when Jenkins hit that dramatic shot. And Archer Diacomo, one of my favorites, man, understood how to play. Managed the clock at the end of that game. And don't ever forget what Marcus Page did to make it and put that situation where it was. And Mr. Jordan, Michael the Magnificent, was behind the bench.
For a second.
We did that game. I was fortunate enough to do it with Mr. McDonough.
When Booth went down with that knee injury, the guy just got a high five from DiVincenzo was the one who stepped up for him. And for a while, Dante DiVincenzo really had to fill the role of like a Josh Hart as a 6th man, but he was the guy that when Booth went down, he stepped up for them.
Josh Hart, Jenkins, they lost some key play. Reynolds.
They lost some scoring power and some senior leadership. And that was one of the things Jay Wright said about his team coming in. When he looked at Purdue, he said, it feels like Purdue's the older team and we're still young. Here they push it. Bridges all the way to the hole. What a start to the second half.
You need a TO. The Vols need a TO. The Wildcats are back, baby. The Wildcats are back. They're showing why they're number 5 in America now. Oh, baby.
You're watching ESPN's Feast Week, presented by Lowe's. What a start to the second half for Villanova, and Brunson's been in the middle of all of it. That pull-up jumper, then the layup. Bridges buries one, then he makes the layup there, and Rick Barnes was a little hesitant to call a timeout, but he realized, I better do that now, and all of a sudden we've seen that advantage at half shrunk to 3 points.
Nice little run by Villanova, showing some real heart and guts to come back.
Talked about this yesterday, Dick, here in November, and there's some great hustle by Bridges, and that ball is off Tennessee, and that's the type of energy Villanova lacked in the middle of that first half. They were here in 2013 and won this battle for Atlantis with hustle like this.
Wow.
Since they won that event, they've not lost a tournament in November. Legends Classic in 14, NIT season tip-off in 15, and the Charleston Classic in 16.
Great point, Carl. Great point.
Brunson again. No. DiVincenzo was there to tip it. And it's Tennessee who'll have the run out.
They're going to start getting Williams back involved. They're going to get the ball inside to Williams. Good things happen when he touches the rock. They're going to go doubling up right now. He really possesses use of his body exceptionally well. Spreads out well, protects the ball, has good hands.
Big guy, 6'7", yep. 241 pounds.
7'6" wingspan.
Scored over 400 points as a freshman, 6th all-time, 61 blocks as a freshman,
yep,
which was a Tennessee record.
Yeah.
Double teamed in the corner. We're going to get a foul, and this is that cylinder rule, and you can see the officials making that call. You've got to allow the offensive player to use that pivot foot to move around, and they hammered him in and hooked a leg, and that's going to be called on the defense this season.
You know, you mentioned Williams, multiple 30-point games, tied Houston and Bernard King.
Yep. Schofield has one go in and out. DiVincenzo to Brunson. Oh, what a pass. Woo! Williams got up to block that attempted dunk by Pascal, and he got a foul called on him.
The guy that's really made this happen for Villanova has been the point guard, Brunson.
No question.
He has come in to start this half. He's made one good play after another. There's a nice little pass. Unselfish. He's so unselfish, so cerebral, understands how to win, makes winning plays. You gotta have guys like that if you want to stand tall and be part of a winner's mentality. You need people like Brunson.
Contested dunk there by Pascal, and you could see that while Williams was up as high, he did get him on that left arm.
They haven't missed a foul shot yet, have they?
No.
I don't think they've missed a free throw. What is it, 14 for 14?
15 to 16 now.
Oh, they did miss one. Oh, wow. They're slipping. They missed one. Wow, what's happened? Look at Rick. He's really upset. He's a little frustrated. He's had such a great first half, and then boom, bam, momentum has swung the way of Villanova big time.
No doubt about it. 8 points now in the game for Pascal, and we got a 1-point ball game here with 16 to go.
When it went down 15 with about a minute to go in the first half.
Williams out of the game, so where's the scoring going to come for Tennessee? They get it to Fulkerson, and he's immediately doubled, and then DiVincenzo goes back. Bowden, the three-point shooter, kicks it to Turner. He's got Omari Spellman on him. There's a mismatch there. Schofield with 2 on the shot clock. Oh, tough shot.
That was a tough shot. He had a brother that played with Seattle and won the Super Bowl. Played 7 years in the NFL.
That ends an 11-0 run. Fulkerson on board to try to apply some pressure, and Brunson able to dribble through it. DiVincenzo launches a three right in front of the bench.
What a guy to bring off the bench. DiVincenzo with the big three.
Daniel has that pick by DiVincenzo, and we get a foul on Lamonte Turner, and it's all Villanova right now. We'll take a timeout here, and they gather around that Villanova bench. DiVincenzo's got the Villanova crowd on their feet.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Atlantis Paradise Island, Bahamas at heart, and Lowe's. Hurry in today for huge savings on all things winter.
Oh, who's that? That's Disco Dick.
Disco Dick.
They want me to dance out there, a little Disco Dick style. Have a little fun.
Get a little stuffing with that turkey out there. I tell you, you embraced the whole thing, and then you're going to the beach after this. You got a great basketball game here. You're dancing with the folks.
I have a lot of fun in life, man. I don't know my age until I look in the mirror every day. Then I realize how old I am. Oh,
we're enjoying this one here, the battle for Atlantis, the Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis. It's been a very entertaining game, and we're tied at 48 with under 16 to play.
I think Brunson and certainly DiVincenzo has given him a real lift here in the second half. and the whole team defensively. It's come out with a lot more spirit.
All the way to the rack, and Brunson lays it up with his right hand. Defensive lapse for Tennessee.
Tell you, when you got those outstanding point guards, what a plus it is.
Schofield, big body, comes up short. Rebound by Booth.
It's all Villanova, man. It has been all Villanova. They were minus 15 with a minute to go in the first half. They came out here in the second half. That's an adjustment, Joe. You got to credit also. I'm telling you what, credit that guy on the sideline.
Look at Brunson one more time. Tough shot as he got banged by Fulkerson on a no call.
He is showing why I believe he's the best point guard in the nation here in the second half. Just makes really intelligent plays.
Got to get Grant Williams back in the game. Here's the steal. Brunson thought about passing it and realized the defender Bowden was in the passing lane. He's able to get his rebound. Amari Spellman. If he knocks down a three.
It's all Villanova, Mr. Ravitch. It's all Villanova. They are on fire, showing why they're number 5 in America.
A 21-2 run for Villanova. And a steal. And Schofield with that bad shoulder. He's part of that group on the ground.
Yeah, Brunson's been the catalyst. He's been the engine that's made Jay Wright's club go. There he is right now in the clear out on the left. Clear out. And he goes in, uses the right hand. He's a left-handed player. And there he is with a drive right here with the left hand, a strong hand. And then he says, why not find an open guy for a three? And Mr. Spellman has been quiet, got in foul trouble early. They're expecting big things from him on the interior. I think the prayers of Father Hagan work too. So let's give him some credit too. He's on that bench praying.
Yeah, there's another turnover. And Brunson goes to the bench, so a little pick-me-up here. That one is called a foul, even though the ball went off the leg of Booth. We'll get a foul out top, and it's all Wildcats right now.
Yeah, Brunson deserves some water, deserves a little rest.
Hey, 3 more points for Jalen Brunson. He'll get his 1,000th in his career. Got 997 right now.
Wow. Look at his first half, second half, scoring the first 2 games. Unbelievable.
Big uptick against Western Kentucky, an 8 of 13 here in the second half for a 63% shooting percentage.
Well, you look at what he's achieved, though, when you talk about, but certainly they've done at Villanova in the last 5 years is unreal. 32-4 last year. They got a national championship. They got 4 Big East titles. I said it yesterday, and I'll say it again. Someone said, oh, you're talking about Hall of Fame. Well, I'm going to tell you, he is putting up numbers worthy for Hall of Fame evaluation. And maybe a couple more years, he is right there. Talking about Jay Wright.
Villanova has made 18 of 19 free throws in this game.
Well, we said that's one of their great strengths. Shooting 3 as well. They've not shot the free ball here today.
Tough shot underneath and a terrific play by James Daniel.
Big time scorer. You talked about it. Documented it. Led the nation in scoring at Howard. They needed that basket desperately.
As the shot clock was winding down. A token pressure applied by Daniel. DiVincenzo, though, I mentioned when some of the guys had been hurt, he had to basically play point guard. He's not a point guard, but he did it for Villanova. Real tough shot there. That's your contested 3.
Yeah, that's a bad shot.
They're going to keep it here. They're going to call Fulkerson on that box out as Spellman landed down hard on that right shoulder, and he kind of undercut him.
And you got to eliminate challenge shots. You got to eliminate those.
I saw some Miami fans. We're not talking just basketball. We're talking football. So Miami fans down here in the Bahamas, and they are all fired up for this game against Pittsburgh at noon Eastern on ABC to keep that college football playoff hope alive. So after your Black Friday shopping, if you do that, or you're just falling asleep on Thursday, you wake up Friday at noon, you get a chance to see this one, Canes and Panthers. And it also streams live on the ESPN app. Travel. Little bonus step taken there.
They got the swag back, man, down in Miami.
Goodness,
I was down here. I was down there for the Notre Dame game, and I'm telling you, the swag is back.
A-Rod, J-Lo.
Oh, everybody with the Plant 112. My guy Miles down there, Chavez. What a great place. That place was buzzing. I had a ball. I'll be down there early December when Kansas plays Syracuse.
Bridges the steal.
Oh, flush. Oh, up and away, baby. Up and away.
They're feeling good right now. Bridges got some bounce to his step, and their lead is 9.
Hey, they've now scored up by 24 since the minute mark and a half, because they were down 15.
Grant Williams has not been a factor this second half. Every time he's touched it, they've double-teamed him. Daniel, he can do that. He can do that by himself, 59-52.
He can score. He's got great scoring ability. They're going to do anything, Tennessee. They're going to start doing it defensively. They have not been able to contain Villanova. They've been able to execute here in the second half. Playing the ball tough right there.
What a bonus it is, though, isn't this, a coach, to have a guy like DiVincenzo at 6'5" be able to handle the ball like that. When we come back, all sorts of distractions, including Dickie V dancing. So how do you stay focused when you're in Atlantis? We'll talk to Jay Wright as we continue.
And we try to educate them that, hey guys, you only get a certain number of games in college to play. This is a business trip. You know, you can go back to Atlantis when you graduate for the rest of your life, but you only get to go there and play against these great teams in this outstanding tournament one time. So let's make sure we're focused on basketball when we're there.
Villanova and Jay Wright saying, we're here to play basketball. You want to come back later in life, you can enjoy Atlantis. But boy, they have turned up the intensity here.
They really have. In the second half, it's been a team performance. They've executed defensively, helping one another, playing the passing lanes, and converting off the steals, transition. And I think it was all key right in the beginning of the half by the play of Brunson. A couple of drives, made an open jump shot, and also credit that guy on the sideline. He really has a great communication way with his people. I haven't heard a bad word about him from anyone.
The other thing that has certainly happened, they've turned up the defensive intensity, and we haven't seen much from Grant Williams in the second half. Yesterday, 22 points in the second half in their victory against Purdue. So we'll keep an eye on Williams and their efforts to get him involved in the game offensively. They got an offensive foul on Pascal as he cleared out.
Good call by James Lucky. He said, no, but he did. He cleared out with a free hand. They got to get some touches. Williams hasn't had any touches.
They have one field goal in the second half.
Yeah, they're going to look for it. He's stepping out to the perimeter. He can make threes, too, for a big guy.
DiVincenzo, and here we go again.
Wow. Does he have bounce off the floor? Does he have bounce off the floor? Hey, he's like my Spalding pink ball I talked about yesterday. To play with that all the time. That baby can really bounce, and he's got bounce off the floor.
7 steals for Villanova. Their defense, especially out top, has caused all sorts of problems for Tennessee.
You know, they came out to start the game with a real defensive effort and a good bounce to the action, but here right now, passing lane, telegraph pass. Boy, did he just get off the ground?
Easy, too. Easy hops. 5 of those 7 steals, Dick, have come in the second half. Danger time here for Tennessee, down by 9. They set up a 3, and then they get down low to Fulkerson. Good extra pass, but he misses the layup. And there's another extra pass, and that one worked well as Williams uses that body for a lay-in.
Nice look to the inside. Again, the offensive rebound has been one of their great assets in this tournament.
Pressure on the ball, and it was broken easily, and now it may lead to a layup. Spellman put the ball on the ground, and he got trapped there. Not a good decision.
No, he should have went right to the basket. He came back to the middle.
Foul called on the arm, and Daniel hit the ground really hard.
That could be a 4-point turnaround right there. Should have layup. They did a great job executing, posted up, hit the post man, got the guard coming off the post man, had numbers, 3-on-2, had a layup, and he brought the ball back instead of going to the square and his body to the baseline. Sit right here. Now watch this. Oh, there's the steal, the turnover. There's the foul, the contact right here.
Bridges picks up his 3rd. Daniel misses the free throw. Spellman will go out. That's a fairly easy, teachable moment, isn't it, for somebody like Spellman?
Absolutely.
Get the ball down low, you go up with it.
Go up strong with it. There'll be a teacher moment when they evaluate and look at the video. In fact, when I went to see Jay before the game, he was looking at video of our game you and I were talking about. Said you guys were all over us, man.
The sound was down, though, wasn't it?
No, he didn't sound
No,
out.
he did. At 61-55 at the 10-minute mark here. midway through the second.
They're back within 6. Villanova did everything in breaking that pressure. They executed so well, and they didn't score at the end.
Brunson had it, decided not to do it. He's got a mismatch with Admiral Schofield on him.
And
he takes advantage of it.
He just knows how to play. Knows how to play. Talk about guys like him and Joel Berry.
All right, this is what you expect from Daniel. You know he can do this, and all of a sudden in the second half, James Daniel's starting to score. He's got 10 in the game, 7 of them in the second half.
And if you just joined us, what Correll's alluding to, he was the leading scorer in the nation when he played at Howard.
Over 27 a game, leading scorer in the country. So he's capable of doing this stuff. DiVincenzo, he's in trouble, used his body. They're going to call the offensive foul.
He leaned in with his shoulder. This baby's not over by any stretch of the imagination.
DiVincenzo's 4th foul. That's a big part of the story for Villanova. He goes to the bench. Bridges has 3. The second semifinal for the Bad Boy Mowers Battle for Atlantis. 3 o'clock Eastern time. NC State, haven't seen them. A much different team. Obviously, Mark Gottfried out, and the style very different. They'll take on Northern Iowa, an experienced team, at 3 Eastern time on ESPN2. All the games streamed live on the app. Schofield had it. We're going to get a hold on the ground.
You know, Coach Keats is usually utilizing for North Carolina State a lot of the principles he learned when he coached under Rick Pitino. They're trapping and battling all over the floor, scrapping. I think that's some veteran players.
No doubt. 9-minute mark, that's a huge call. That's Bridges, his 4th. So he and DiVincenzo both 4 fouls.
That could be major coming down the stretch with 9 minutes to go. What a talent. Bridges has really become such an outstanding player this year. He was always very good. Boy, the Big East is going to be dynamite, really dynamite. And Blewett and Chris Mack's club, Xavier, outstanding. Seton Hall, my alma mater, man. The Pirates are for real.
Tennessee doing a nice job with the charity stripe. They're 10 of 14, and just like that, this lead is down to 4.
And post up really well against the pressure. Use the big guys, a release man. When in doubt, get the ball to Brunson. Good things happen when he starts. He loves getting in triple threat position. He stares at you, squares you, looks at you, always in control of the ball.
Guarded by the redshirt sophomore, and just like that, he ran right into Turner, and that's a foul on Lamonte Turner.
You don't want to foul them, man. You don't want to put them on the free throw line.
Brunson 3 of 3 from the stripe. Haven't seen a lot of Colin Gillespie. He's coming into the game right now. Take out Amari Spellman with 8:43 to go.
Bad play to Temple. What team John Chaney had? John Chaney and Temple, they were unbelievable during his era.
Every year, too.
Every year. Mark Shakin, Macon, Rick Brunson, and list goes on and on. John Chaney, one of the great guys of motivating a team, inspiring him when he had those Temple clubs. Free throw line, we said, could be the difference maker in a game. And right now, it has been a difference maker. When you look at the difference margin with Villanova has done in the free throw line versus Tennessee.
Hey, Jalen Brunson now has 1,001 points for his career.
Didn't stop the game. Give the kid a ball.
See if Daniel sort of has reverted back to that scorer's mentality. Here, the pass and a high arcing 3 is off. It's picked up by Booth, and he's running.
Nice pass.
Good defense. What job by Turner to get back and knock it away.
Yeah, Turner with great hustle. Defensive transition. Booth did an excellent job filling up the lanes, dropping a little bounce pass.
Rick Barnes got to love this. A lot of guys would kind of lay it up, say forget it. He comes back and knocks that ball away from Brunson.
Excellent timing on the play as well. Did foul. Went all ball.
Right away they call that foul, and I think Jay Wright may have alerted Lamar Simpson. Hey, just watch this. You're going to have a cut here, and you may get a foul as James Daniel may grab, and that's what happened.
He told me that's one of our strengths the last 5 years, making free throws. More clubs got to really find that solution because that could be a difference maker in so many games.
Dick, they're all excited about what Colin Gillespie, the freshman, can bring to this team. 6'2", 185-pound guard, big scorer in high school, local kid.
He's getting quality minutes, too. 21 for 22 on the line. Incredible. 22 for 23. He's got a nice stroke. He's a young version of Kid Farrell, who plays for Notre Dame. I love Farrell. I love his toughness.
Lead is 8. You're still waiting for Grant Williams to get that ball.
Get the ball to him. Clear out. Thank you. He's going to score. He got fouled.
Late whistle. Wright can't believe it as his head is in his hands. It was a late whistle. Is he calling Jay Wright for being out of that coaching box?
It was a real late whistle.
I didn't see him out of the coaching box. You get that white line on that ground that you can see right about 3 feet in front of him. Jay Wright got called for that. We saw that yesterday with Rick Stansbury.
Well, they're emphasizing that this year. They've expanded the coach's box, and one of the rules is they want to make sure the coach stays in that box, and they're going to bang him with tees if they're out.
Was it the coaching box or was it the sort of demonstrative move about that foul?
Got to make those free throws here, try to come back. You're down 7. Now put the ball in his hands, man. You're in great shape.
8-minute mark, second half.
He doesn't turn the ball over.
Sets up Pascal. Knocks down a 3, and a good job by Brunson to free him up.
Couldn't make any shots yesterday, Pascal. Comes up big right there with that 3 ball. They got so many weapons that can shoot the 3.
He's got 10. They go back to Williams again. And
doubling up every time he touches.
Good pass.
Good
Schofield
pass.
lays it in.
Great vision. Williams with the great size. Looked right over the double team. Found the cutter. I mean, we got to understand, people. We're in November playing basketball. Teams are going to get a lot more rhythm. Oh, I love this kid. Come on, Carl. What doesn't he do as a point guard?
Doing it all. Jalen Brunson, 21 points now, 14 of them in the second half.
He's a coach's dream, man. He's a coach's dream.
Double team. Williams, offensive foul. Lowered that shoulder. So double teaming is the method by which they're trying to slow down number 2. It's worked. They got a 10-point lead with 7 to go.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers. Classic American muscle, mow with an attitude. And Atlantis Paradise Island. Bahamas at heart.
All right, so Carolina getting set for their game. You know that Oklahoma and Arkansas is going to be a battle on ESPN2 at 5 Eastern time. How about the Huskies and the Ducks at 9 on ESPNU? That's the PK 80.
Tell you one thing, watch Oklahoma. You got a great type of dandy, Trey Young. He doesn't get a lot of publicity. He can play. Lon Kruger's got a great one in that guard, and he'll match up against the veteran guards that Arkansas has in the perimeter. Oh, there's the car. Hey, Carl, this is the car we talked about. That car is available. Only 1,500 chances. No, there's only about, we saw 500 the other day. That car, brand new red Mercedes convertible. It goes. You ready for this? It is unbelievable. We are raffling off donation of $100 or more. Any donation from 100 and above, we will take 1,500 chances. All goes to the V Foundation, all for kids battling cancer. Nothing worse, Carl, than watching a mom and dad watching a child do chemo, radiation, suddenly. Go to DickVitaleOnline.com right now and get your chance. DickVitaleOnline.com for that raffle chance on a new Mercedes.
I thought we had that whole thing figured out, though. I was going to give you a check for $1,500 or $15,000. And no, you were going to give me the car. I got every ticket. I get the car.
Your math is not too good.
$100 bucks. Oh, $150,000. Foul trouble all across the board. Both teams, 4 for Bridges and DiVincenzo. They're on the bench. Good defense there by Booth. And that'll go back to Villanova.
See, that wasn't a good shot. Challenge. Again, I can't emphasize enough. I have to learn as a team to alleviate and eliminate challenge shots. You want good shots with each possession.
Brunson's been the story of the second half. He's been outstanding, and right now Jalen Brunson with his passing, his composure, and his points. 21 of them, 14 after the break, have got them a 10-point lead.
Ooh. Little tough call right there. I thought it was looking like a clean, but they got contact on him.
And that sends Brunson to the line, which is basically given them 2 points. He's 5 for 5.
You know, we look at the SEC. You mentioned Texas A&M. Florida, very good. Kentucky, we got a big question mark. We don't know yet about Kentucky.
Yeah, but I mean, seriously, we do know that he always looks different in November than he does in February.
Oh,
and March.
Absolutely. No question. The man can flat out coach. John Calipari can recruit, obviously, but we don't know yet with this team how good they will be, or maybe not, because right now they've been playing some cupcakes here during this time of the year. We saw them. I did the game against Kansas. Lots of good athletes. I think they can utilize full court pressure.
Jay Wright, I think, Dick, he's asking about the coaching box. He was given a warning. There was no technical called. They get a red line over there. You get a white line over there.
Got all kinds of lines. You can make a hockey. Red line, blue line, green lines. I can't figure lines out. Oh, man. It's tough for me to watch, but I love it. Watch my Lightning this year. They're great.
A Tampa Bay Lightning reference.
Yeah, they're great.
12-point lead, 6 minutes to go.
I mean, they need a spurt. They're getting themselves in a hole because you got a foul at the end of the game. You got no shot with Villanova the way they make fouls.
High floater. Darrington picks it up, lost it for a second. Schofield takes it himself, and it gets pinned. And the possession arrow goes the other way. How about that?
Got to lay down on the glass. Got to lay it on the glass. The glass becomes your friend. He did a heck of a job at Texas. I really think he would have been better in terms of, he had so many players that you mentioned earlier, left one-and-done players.
He played and coached for Kevin Durant. In college, for me, you watched Larry Bird because he was so great, and Kevin Durant were must-see TV when they played college basketball.
Absolutely. Kid from French Lick, what he did for Indiana State was amazing.
Unbelievable. Big turnover there, and now you got a 12-point cushion with 5:38 to go. So they're up 12. Remember, if you're just joining us, Villanova trailed by 12 at the half.
Trailed by 15, a minute
late
to go in the half.
Late in the first half.
Yeah.
They've gotten away from getting it to Grant Williams down low, and Villanova's done a much better job double-teaming him. Bowden, quick pass, that's picked off. Their 8th steal of this half. DiVincenzo got fouled.
He wants the basket, but he got fouled prior to shooting. He wants the basket. No continuation in college basketball. Jay wants the goal. That context happened before he released the ball.
This is how they've turned that 12-point halftime deficit into a 12-point advantage. 13 of 20 from the field. They've missed 1 free throw. They've forced 9 now turnovers, and just like yesterday, when they turn the ball over, they run out, and they run out quick.
Finally missed the free throw here, but they did a great job containing Williams, doubling him up. That was their strategy here in the second half, making other players beat them.
Spellman's going to come in for the shooter, DiVincenzo.
It's a nice little rotation off that bench they have, Villanova. Spent time with the kids a little bit down at the party. The entrance here Tuesday night. Just a bunch of classy young people, really are.
Turner may have gotten away with shuffling his feet. Bowden, man, he was crowded by Pascal, and that's going to be a foul on Pascal.
Tell you this too, Carl. Even though they got beat, Arizona, they're playing without a key player, Atkins. And the kid,
Raleigh Alkins.
Yes.
You cannot underestimate how important he is.
And DeAndre Ayton really excited people back home here. I had a little breakfast today. I was talking with Bob McAdoo, superstar, and he just raved about him. Raved about his potential.
Ayton just looks different than most college basketball players, let alone first-time college basketball players. 27 points in the loss last night. But again, you have 3 games in 3 days, so DeAndre Ayton and that Arizona team will be back on the court. Alkins is a terrific on-ball defender, so getting him back, that'll help, because that was one of the things that was exposed last night by NC State.
You know, Uri's good. You can be a big player, but you got to have good guard play to be able to get you the ball. That's one of the problems. I look at the Pelicans with Cousins and Anthony Davis, terrific players, but you got a better strength in the perimeter.
13-point lead with a chance to drive a nail, perhaps, into it. DiVincenzo, that one's off, but it goes right to Villanova. Brunson thought about it. No, we're going to call it on the floor, and he'll go back to the line. Looked like Turner, according to Jane Lucky, grazed him with his shoulder.
It was a real graze job with all the contact we're seeing. It was a real graze. And if you're Rick Barnes, you don't want to see them on a free throw line.
Brunson, who today went over the 1,000-point mark in his career, shoots his 8th free throw, and he makes his 8th free throw.
His dad watching, that's my guy. That's my guy. I'm sure he's worked with him a great deal during the early days.
Rick Brunson was a terrific pro.
Played 9-10 years in the league.
This is Jalen Brunson, who had a chance to go to the NBA. He said, look, the NBA isn't going anywhere. I got to get my degree, and I can still get a lot better.
He's got another year to go.
See North Carolina next, the PK 80 as that bucket is made, and you've been wondering, where's that been the second half?
They've kept the ball away from him. He's so effective. 22 in the second half. We documented earlier against Purdue yesterday. Williams. You know, Nova opened last year 14 and zip. They had wins over Notre Dame, Purdue.
Start applying some pressure here and get some turnovers, try to create some turnovers. The challenge with that is you don't foul and give Villanova 3 points.
You know, Villanova's had 30-game win seasons 3 consecutive years. Creighton really very impressive.
Really good.
Providence very good as well. Oh, he finally made a mistake. He missed an easy layup. Brunson missed an easy layup at himself.
Schofield went back up for it. He got some help by Williams, who lays it in, and they cut it down to single digits.
Williams right up there on the glass.
Check that 10-point advantage, 77-67, but a timeout. You always want it within 10 with 4 to go, and that's where we're at the battle for Atlantis. No doubt about it. And I'm sure Bill remembers every minute of those dead shows. 10-point game here, and a reminder of what's ahead with the PK 80 celebrating Phil Knight's soon-to-be 80th birthday.
Some interesting players right here. Mr. Allen from Florida, kind of really watch. Tell you that, he can play. Look at Jared Jackson. Michigan State, that type of daddy. He's got great ability. Don Izzo, we know, does a phenomenal job. Bridges and Company lost to Duke earlier this year, but you know, that's a game you learn a lot about your team. Duke won that game. On positive for them. They won. Bagley went out after 10 minutes with an eye injury. Grayson Allen was off the charts. They had 30.
Brunson finds his way in, and now he kicks it to Booth for a 3. No good. Good rebound by Schofield in traffic.
Villanova, to look forward, has not seen the real Phil Booth. He's way better, and he will be way better than what we've witnessed here. It's just a matter of him getting that leg and getting timing back after the surgery.
Offensive rebound, Schofield. Contested, that's a goaltend. That ball was going down, and Pascal got a hand on it. Schofield's down on the ground. He's a little shaken up with that left leg of his.
See, when you're rebounding and you're offensively on the glass, the one thing it's telling you about your kids, they're hustling and scrapping. I think there's 3 areas you can tell if you're hustling. Deflections, blocking shots, and scenario by getting on the offensive boards. Then you know kids are hustling and scrapping.
DiVincenzo gets it into Brunson. Lead is down to 8, a 7-0 run here for Tennessee, and they need another stop.
Plenty of time yet. If they can get us something, they got to keep them off that free throw line.
Tough defense. Bridges, fall away, no good. Chance for Tennessee to cut into it even further.
They want to cut it in further. They got to get the ball in the hands of Williams got to get the ball inside and maybe go inside, outside. But good things will happen if he gets that ball.
He's got Bridges on him, and he picks it up. Tough shot, in and out. Bad break for him. Alexander had it and lost it. We got a foul.
Yeah,
which will send Pascal to the line.
Alexander had a great opportunity for an offensive rebound and a putback. Lost control of the ball. That was a heck of a move by Williams. The ball just didn't go down for the kid. Here he has a little isolation against Bridges. I mean, everything but going down. Unreal. That offensive rebound should have been converted. He's got to get stronger physically.
Yep.
Now there's a turnaround, right? Think about it, Carl. Right now, he scores there at 77-71. Instead, it's probably going to be 79-69, a 4-point turnaround. Get money on the free throw line, man. It becomes contagious. Everybody buys into it. Everybody works on it.
28 of 30.
28 of 30. Wow. That's shooting, man.
They've attempted 30 free throws, and Tennessee has attempted 19. Now 29 of 31. That's a game-changing statistic.
Well, we talked at the top of the show. It's one of their great strengths. You come down the wire with them, edge goes big time to Villanova at the charity stripe.
Good defense by Booth, who throws it to a wide-open Brunson, and he has to slow it down.
Smart.
Which is a good move.
Smart. See, a lot of players would have caught that ball and tried to make the flashy pass to somebody cutting off balance. Manage the clock now, you back it out, bring some time down.
10-point lead, 2 minutes to go. Brunson misses it. No charge, no call, and a 2-point basket by Turner.
Wow. Surprise there, no call at all. Turner's been quiet in the game. He was big yesterday, 16 big ones against Purdue. Hit the big three to send the game into OT. See, here's where it's such a plus, having a cerebral guard and a team that can make free throws.
That ball may have gone off Brunson. They say no, Lamar Simpson. We'll see if Jamie Luckey comes in and changes this call. That ball looked like it may have been deflected off of Brunson, and I think that's what Luckey is talking about with Simpson.
Little conversation. There's the drive, beats his man, there's the contact.
Oh yeah, that hit off his midsection.
Should be Tennessee's ball.
I think it should be. Challenge for trying to come back against Villanova too, and you mentioned, you have a great point guard, but you have to foul and send him to the free throw line,
and
they made 29 of 31.
Yeah, that's tough. That's a great asset they possess. You better knock them out before. They're going to overturn this. They made their call, and that ball comes back off Brunson. No doubt. But Villanova, man, you talk about that Big East. They're going to be really proud in that conference. Some quality teams. And Marquette got a win today, or yesterday rather, and played out in the Maui. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Patrick Ewing at Georgetown.
Very interesting.
People have to understand he doesn't have the kind of talent level right now that he will ultimately have. His name should attract some quality players. It's important for St. John's to turn the corner to show him that Chris Mullen got a good backcourt complement there. The Ponds can play, and they got a real strong backcourt. St. John's got to make some noise. But I still think when you look at top, there's three teams that jump at me. Villanova, obviously, Seton Hall, and Xavier.
Yeah. You see that scoreboard we have there, and you can see right next to each team's name are those white circles. Those are the timeouts left. Tennessee has one. And that could be a factor as well in this one with $1:30 to go.
Good bit of officiating right there to make sure to get the right call.
Schofield strong enough to get it to go. 6-point lead now for Villanova. 1:26 to go. Back to our studio and Chris Cotter. All right, Chris, happy Thanksgiving to you and the gang in the studio and all the folks working behind the scenes. Our guy, Jerry Daniels, Rob Lemley on Thanksgiving. In fact, company-wide, all the folks that work on Thanksgiving.
I want to simply say this to the people out there. You know, I've been blessed in my life, obviously. I've lived a life that's exceeded any dream. And I'm so thankful. I grew up in a great family with a mother and father. We're up in heaven right now, uneducated. And I'm going to tell you this, that I've been very blessed and lucky. You know, I lost my eyes as a kid, and I thought it was the end of the world. And then I got fired coaching the pros. I thought that was the end of the world. To all the people out there facing challenges, keep on going. Keep on doing whatever you want to do, and do it to the best of your ability. Pursue those dreams and goals. We live in a great nation, and I know I've been blessed. Our nation needs more love. We got to get rid of all this hate and all this violence. We got to hug people and really be thankful for what we have, and we're blessed. And I want to say thanks also to all our military out there to make it impossible for us to live the life we live.
Well said on this Thanksgiving holiday. Villanova inbounds a $126 in a game of seesaws. Villanova trailed this game by 12 at the half. Then they had a 12-point lead in this half. And now a near tie-up, and they'll get the tie-up. And the possession arrow is to Tennessee.
Poor job by Villanova right there. They made the right entry, posting up the big guy, but then he held the ball. I think they might have been a little quick with that call.
Hard to rip a ball away from Admiral Schofield, but that did happen, but it didn't happen quick enough. And now with a 6-point advantage, Villanova got to play some defense.
Yeah, you don't have to think about the three.
Quick three, and they do. Way off. Loose ball on the floor, and this time the jump ball will go towards Villanova if that's what the call is.
See, that possession was so quick, I think you had to go inside. Inside out. Went for the three, I thought too quickly right there.
I think Coach Barnes is letting Turner know that same thing.
He gets right up on you, man. So he's trying to teach and give you an education. Let you know. When let you know when you do something well. They're having a tough time entering the ball.
They got it in. Booth picks his dribble up, but it gets it to DiVincenzo. And now we're at the minute mark as Pascal does some work down low. Oh, he loses it, and he ran right into an over.
Sloppy, very sloppy here at the end of the game.
Chris Darrington.
Villanova last two possessions, not really like to see out of a team with some experience. Put the ball in number one's hands. Put it in number one's hands, and you'll be number one when you leave the court. Dylan Brunson, All-American.
Did not have another empty trip, Dick. They're down by 6. We're under a minute. Schofield launches. Got it!
Big three by Schofield. We got a game, man. Remember to hit the big three to send it to OT against Purdue. No quitting those kids because there's no quitting their coach. None. Volunteers, the big orange. The question down there is who will be the football coach?
I know. That is a big question in Tennessee land. Schofield has 11 in the second half and 16 for the game.
Here he is, the big, strong guy. Looks like a linebacker. Very strong, physical. They got a number of guys that can make the three. Rob Lanier, another staff now with Rick Barnes, a guy that's been around basketball, knows a lot of people, quality basketball intellect.
They've only missed 2 free throws, and that ultimately may be what decides this for Villanova, but there is like nobody that you can say we can foul.
And we've said the whole game, that's their great strength. And that could be the difference maker in the game.
Brunson is 9 for 9. Pascal 6 for 6. Booth is 7 for 8.
This game's been a game of spurts. I mean, it looked like in the first half, Tennessee was going to put them away up 15. Then Villanova looked like they're going to put them away here in the second half.
Ooh, they're going to call Schofield at a ball that looked like perhaps he got ball, but the replay will certainly show whether he did or he got hand on that, which led to that foul call to number 5.
And back to that charity stripe where they just excel. They get an A+. We'll play Dr. V now and give out grades. But they get an A+ at the charity stripe, Villanova.
Bridges has only taken 2 today. He's made them both. That one looked long and he missed it.
Oh, then we had chase up. Well, I'm going to give him an A now, no A+.
29 of 32, Villanova as a team.
There's a big one right here because it gives you that 2-possession differential.
Tennessee on a 14-3 run here. And within 4 with 45 to go.
I'd slide the ball inside the Williams. I'd get it to Williams, my friends.
Turner working hard. May have gotten away with a push-off. Daniel, that's off to the left, and a rebound for Bridges, and he's fouled by Williams.
He goes back to the charity stripe. I don't think sometimes the Tennessee kids realize how effective and how efficient you can be when the ball goes into the big guy. Not only for him to score, but to draw the attention he draws, doubles and triple teams, gives you wide open looks.
Yeah, he's a good passer for a big fella.
Yeah, very good passer. Has good vision, knows where people are on the floor.
Mikal Bridges has 20 points now in the game, and the lead grows to 5.
Well, Villanova really tested here this afternoon. The first 3 games were just blowouts. Then he struggled for a half against Western Kentucky. But this one has been a battle the entire game.
Williams lost it. Pascal hustles. And we got a run out, but a foul is called before the dunk.
Yeah, foul out here. That dunk, wave it off. Contact at midcourt.
How about Pascal getting on the floor in a 50-50 ball?
That's who win games, man. Teams that get those 50-50 balls. Don Calipari talks about it all the time. There it is. Dive, man. Hustle. Coaches love seeing that. That's doing it all for the name and the front of that jersey. Commitment. Commitment to excellence. Communicate.
That'll do it for Grant Williams as he goes to the bench, and he played a terrific ball game. We've seen 2 outstanding performances from Grant Williams. They didn't get the ball to him, but felt like enough in the second half, but he leaves with 20 points.
And he's certainly got to be right up there in the all SEC honors. Could be a little fatigued right now. Coming up short on the free throw line. You shoot with your legs as well.
In between free throws, we take a look at our player of the game. It's brought to you by Bad Boy Mowers. It's your guy, Jalen Brunson. Didn't miss a free throw, 5 assists, and when the game was needed to be settled down, he did it.
I didn't realize he had 25 points. I didn't know. It was a quiet 25, but very efficient.
Tough shot for Daniel. Pascal with the rebound. Here's your run out. DiVincenzo
It's over.
will throw it down.
Up and away. Villanova remains undefeated. Who will they play? Will it be North Carolina State, or will there be a surprise in Northern Iowa? They had a fight for this win, baby. Tennessee came to play. They had a fight for this win. Stock goes up and up for Mr. Brunson. Carl, lots of fun, baby.
Loved it, baby. Okay. Happy Thanksgiving.
Lots of fun.
Enjoy the beach, my friend. Have a great time. Villanova's hopes for a November championship still very much alive, and every tournament they've been in since they won this one in 2013, they've came away with the title. For Dick Vitale, I'm Carl Ravitch, our entire crew. Again, happy Thanksgiving. We'll continue today at 3 on ESPN2. Now to Roxy Bernstein and Bill Walton.